G'day guys, it's Woody here. Welcome back to another video in the Sydney Marathon series, and in this one I'm going to be talking about this shoe from New Balance, the Fuel Cell SuperComp Trainer version 3. That's a mouthful. This shoe has been playing a huge role in my preparation for the Sydney Marathon, so I'm going to go through how I have found this shoe after almost 300 kilometres, what I've been using it for, and is it possibly going to be my race day shoe. But first, let's go for a long run. Good afternoon, everyone. Sunday, long run day. Yes, I'm out late again. I was ready to go this morning actually, but got up at 4:30. I was almost out the door and just felt really crappy, really lethargic. So I went back to bed for a few hours, and I think that was the wise decision. Now it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The only thing is, I'm going to run out of light. Plan is 29k, try not to get run over, and I'm going to use the 8-kilometre run, 400 metre walk strategy that I'm thinking about using for the Sydney Marathon. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, just on my first walk, 400 metre walk, done the first 8k. Didn't take any notice of what the time was. I think I've been averaging around about 5:25s per kilometre, so that's not too bad. But I'm feeling very thirsty, so yeah, maybe I haven't hydrated quite enough, but just keep it nice and chilled and get through this next 8k. But I am wondering whether the 8k run component might just be a little bit on the long side. It might just bring in the fatigue a little bit quicker than if they were a little bit shorter. So that might be something that I experiment with over the next few weeks, just changing the distances of these run components. So up till now I've done like a long first one, and then I've broken them down to like 4k, 5k blocks. And today I'm just trying this 8k block with a 400 metre walk, and yeah, see how it goes by the time I finish 29k. Done a little bit quick on that one. Have to slow it down for this next 8-kilometre lot. 5:22 average, too quick. Starting to just feel the effects of it a little bit. Try and slow it down, 5:30s at least. Whew. I look a bit scary, guys. Oh, that was fucking hard, that run. I got it done, but I wanted to pull the pin after about 20k. Wow, my legs are cooked, and I've paid the price for turning up the gas for a couple of k at Park Run yesterday. You would think that I would learn my lesson by now, but no, I'm stubborn, and it'll sink in sooner or later because I can't keep doing long runs like I did tonight. Got through the first two 8k reasonably well. Halfway through the third one, 4k, I had to stop, had to walk for a couple of 100 metres, grab a drink, finish that one off. Yeah, I got the last little bit done, the last 3.8k. I had to do another walk during that because I got a phone call halfway through it. Yeah, almost limped back to the car. I tell you what, guys, my legs are absolutely fucked. That was a tough run, but 29k in the bag. What are we, the 22nd of June, so really happy with that. Yeah, things are tracking pretty good. The knee was really good tonight. The last couple of days it's been really good, so fingers crossed. It's very scratchy when I first start up again after having a walk. After probably 100 metres or so, it settles down, you know, it's manageable and it's not too much discomfort. So that's a really good sign. So hopefully that can continue on as I keep building these weekly long runs. But yeah, glad to tick that off. I think those tough runs are the most satisfying. Dealing with that little voice in your head that's telling you to stop, walk,
Just get back to wherever you started from. Forget about the rest of the run. You find out a lot about yourself on those tough runs where you dig deep. I've got to be honest with you guys, that last 8 or 10 kilometres I wanted to pull the pin so many times, but I kept just telling myself, just keep going a little bit further, dig a little bit deeper, and see how you go. I got it done. It wasn't pretty towards the end, but I did sort of come out of that really bad period. Obviously I'm filming this now the next day. Yeah, the last sort of 2 or 3 kilometres I did feel probably the best that I did over the last hour of that run, so that was quite promising. That 29 kilometres took me up to 74.9 kilometres for the week. Another good mileage week, the highest mileage week of this training block. The body is a little bit beat up. I've just got home from the gym, my recovery Monday. It wasn't real easy on the bike, I can tell you. My quads were screaming at me, and then obviously doing the lower body work as well. But I got through it. We'll see how the rest of the week pans out. A really good week. We're now less than 10 weeks to the Sydney Marathon. Fingers crossed that everything keeps progressing in a positive way from here on in. All right, now it's time to talk about the New Balance Fuel Cell SuperComp Trainer version 3. That is a bloody mouthful. I had wanted to get my hands on this shoe for some time, and when we were in Japan earlier on this year, I thought that I would be able to maybe pick it up a little bit cheaper while we were over there, but every sports store or every running store that I did go into while in Japan, I just couldn't find it in my size, US 11.5. Yeah, and I've only recently found out that in Japan they don't stock the larger sizes in great quantities, so that's why I missed out there. But fortunately, when I got back to Australia, Rebel Sports were having a sale. I think it was 25% off, so I was able to pick up this shoe for about $250. They retail for anywhere between sort of $260 and $330 depending on the outlet. Yeah, I was really happy to get my hands on this, and from the first time that I put my foot in this shoe, it was just comfort plus. Bit of heel support here in the heel counter, really nice and comfortable here around the heel, around that Achilles area, here on the ankle collar as well. There's also a nice bit of padding on the tongue. It's a guzzeted tongue. You know, there's no pinching with the laces when you do lock down. The upper's a little bit thick, probably in summer it would probably get a little bit on the warm side, but we're in the middle of winter here now in Queensland, Australia, so that's no problem at all at this time of the year. This midsole is showing a little bit of creasing, and it's pretty grubby too, guys, because I have been using this shoe quite a bit in this training block. That outsole showing no wear and tear as I approach 300 kilometres. It has got an Energy Arc carbon plate there. You certainly do feel the responsiveness of that plate. Look, I'm not hitting any sort of great paces with my long runs. As you know, if you've been watching this series so far, I'm around about that 5:30 per kilometre average on my long run. One of my Thursday sessions I did do in this shoe where I'm doing those intervals, I was running sort of 5 minute per kilometre average or a little bit under, and the shoe was fantastic. Handled it really well at those paces. That's pretty much how I have been using this shoe. The majority, well, in fact, all my long runs have been done in this shoe. I have done that Thursday session, and as I said, almost 300 kilometres. Until recently, I was giving this serious consideration to be my race day shoe for the Sydney Marathon, mainly because the first time I put my foot in it, it was just so comfortable, and I've had no issues with the shoe until recently. Once the long run mileage has increased, I'm getting up closer to that 30 kilometre mark now. I have just developed a couple of hot spots underneath my right foot, and that's just got me a little bit concerned now. It's made me rethink my plans for the race day shoe for the Sydney Marathon. I've still got some long runs to come, which I will continue to use this shoe. Maybe that hot spot issue will sort itself out. I would have thought that approaching 300 kilometres, there wouldn't be any issues with hotspots anymore. Yeah, just as the mileage has increased on those long runs, the shoe has just thrown up a few issues. I have been a fan of the New Balance range for the past probably about 5 years, I reckon. I did have a bad experience with one of the versions of the 1080. I think it was maybe version 10 that was the booty-like fit. I just couldn't get used to running in that shoe. I got pain on the outside of my left foot on every run. I put almost 300 kilometers into the shoe, and in the end I just got too frustrated with and just abandoned running in that shoe completely. Some time passed, I thought I'll give New Balance another try. Bought myself a pair of the Rebel version 1. It was a fantastic shoe to run in. Spongy cushion, it was just so soft. It was a bit of a naughty shoe too, because I found myself on easy runs just rolling along at a pace probably faster than what I should have been doing. I got into version 2, another great shoe. Actually, I bought a couple of pairs of the version 2s. I still use this shoe to go to the gym. From memory, got to about 800 kilometers of running. Unfortunately, I haven't been back in the Rebels since. The Rebel 5 does look really good, and you know, maybe down the track I might give that another try. But after having such a great experience with the Rebels, I decided that I would try out the New Balance carbon plate shoe. This is the RC Elite version 1. Just a really good shoe to run in. I'm still using this shoe. I think I'm approaching about 500 kilometers, but I use this shoe for my Tuesday runs, which is the speed group that I run with. You wouldn't even think that this shoe has done 500 kilometers when you look at that outsole. I know I have shown this shoe before here on the channel, but just wanted to let you know that I have become a bit of a fan of the New Balance range, and I've also got the Fuel Cell RC Elite 2 here. This is the shoe I used for my last sub 3-hour marathon, and I think I'm around about that 400-500 kilometer mark with this shoe as well. Just starting to get a little bit scuffed up here on the outsole. I've been using this shoe the last couple of weeks as well for my Thursday sessions. That 19 kilometer session where I'm breaking it down into some interval work. A real joy to run in that shoe. So that's where I'm at with the New Balance Fuel Cell SuperComp Trainer version 3. If you'd asked me a few weeks ago, this would have been my marathon shoe, but now I'm just not quite sure because of that hotspot issue. The main thing for me with race day in the Sydney Marathon is that I want a shoe that's going to be comfortable. I'm not too fussed about having a super shoe. I did look at the Ugari. Is it the Ugari? The Ugari Plus 4 or 4 Plus from Asics. Unfortunately, I just can't get that shoe in my size in Australia, so I'm going to have to keep looking. Maybe I'll look at the big brother of this one, the what is it, the New Balance Fuel Cell SuperComp Elite version 4 maybe. I'm not sure. I'll put it up here on the screen, but yeah, I'm still on the search for a race day shoe, I think. Guys, if you've got any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Make sure you do watch right through to the end, because I have got that list of people who have donated to my fundraising cause for Heart Research Australia. I'm raising money for them as part of my Sydney Marathon journey. I have passed that $600 fundraising goal, so that's fantastic. As I've said in earlier videos, guys, I am donating all the money that I raise from YouTube, from you watching these videos and ads, over the next 2 months, June and July. Appreciate it if you have watched all the way through to this point in the video, guys. If you have watched all this way, I'm going to continue with the emoji theme. Hit me up in the comments down below with the running shoe emoji, just to let me know that you have got to this point in the video. That's it, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.